You know, where the fuck Dub at, man? Where the fuck he go?
Here I am, you looking for me?
Yo ass is boy, that guy Dub, and I'm back with another video. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Deuce from me and my big bro. Yeah, fuck this milk. He said he gonna teach me how to wrestle, man. Look, I'm gonna win the belt.
Yo, cause I'm back for ya.
The boy Dub Deuce in the building.
What up, what up, what up? It is that guy Dub, and I'm back with another video. How you doing? At the end of the day, shouted, I'm good money. And without further ado, we got a special guest in the building, the world-renowned comedian Tyrone. What's happening, brother?
What's up, good brother? How you, man?
I'm good, man. Just sitting here maintaining, man. Just like you said, day already started off pretty rocky, but we said we're gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's like you know, it's been calling for like the windstorms and all that stuff with all today.
Dude, I closed the window. I didn't know what the hell was going on outside. I just heard like the end of the world sound like, you know what I mean? It was rustling and wind and fire and brimstone, all that shit.
Right. Well, you said a tree fell down in my next door neighbor's house and knocked out all of our power. You said throughout the street. So we're dealing with that right now. But me being a consummate professional, I found I have a portable charger, so I can still do this interview with my good brother Tyrone.
Oh, that's dope. See, yeah, the show must go on. The show must go on.
Yes, sir. So you said, for those who don't know, you're comedians. How long you been doing comedy?
A little bit over a year and a half. I started September 11th, 2021.
Okay.
So almost 2 years.
Okay, so what was it that brought you to get on that stage and and do this thing we call comedy?
Oh man, I was always kind of funny, and before this, I was working in the funeral business. So it kind of gave me the confidence. I'm like, damn, if I can get people laughing on pretty much the worst day of their life, then drunk people in the bar should be easy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a funny way of looking at it, because like I hear a lot of comedians, they'll sit there and they'll all say that some comedians have the most tragic lives, but they're able to find the funny in it, which is why a lot of people can relate to them. So you saying yeah. Make a correlation from people having the worst day of their life with a funeral to drunk bar. It's like, because no matter where you go, you're gonna find some funny in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
you might be on something though. Like it's kind of the same thing. I just used external trauma, other people's trauma, and flipped it into funny.
Right. So so what is your preparation right before you get on stage? Because like a lot of times you don't know what the crowd is. You might know some people in the audience, but you don't know how you said this joke may have worked yesterday or that joke may have worked last week. So what is your preparation to be like? No matter what, I'm gonna push through. What's your preparation?
Usually 2 shots of tequila, and then I drink while I'm on stage. That definitely helps calm the nerves. But yeah, I really just try to write to where it's funny, like not black funny, not white funny, not old, just funny generally. Like I make a few audibles. Like if I'm going to a white room, I might not do jokes where I'm making fun of black folks. You know, that's some shit we talk about at the house. You know, this ain't for company. You know what I mean? But other than that, I really don't make any too many changes in my set.
Okay. So to you, what's easier to do? Because I mean, both of them are very complicated. You said if you think about it, what's easier to do to use your written material, or do you find it easier and more natural if you throw an audible?
You know what? Like I don't know if it's easy. It was like this is the point in my career where I trust my instincts to freestyle. Like I always believed in my writing. So I was heavy in bars, but I don't know. Like a lot of my freestyles, the passion and the authenticity of the moment, lightweight makes it funnier than the shit I prepared.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's all in the moment. I don't preference. It's easy. You do.
Right. So he was just like, okay, let's go with a scenario. So you got a heckler in the crowd, and he's just like me. You remember when we when I saw you at the Halloween show, the Lex, and there was that guy in the back go, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
Each one of us was able to deal with that guy. I know he pretty much pissed everybody off just because he was just all over the place. But you was just like, you said, how do you like jump out of your set and then you said pivot to, okay, I'm about to get my you said my rocks off on this guy for a second, then jump back.
Yeah, shoot, that is the ultimate improv. Like you know what I'm saying? You didn't even know this was gonna happen. You had a whole song you was ready to sing. It's his own solo. It's like, hold on, man. That's really what it is, just having that ownership. Like, this is my stage. It's my mic. It's my time. You know, I'll make it all about you. I wrote some good shit y'all gonna enjoy, but I will destroy you if I have to.
Mm. Well, you said it's like, that's another thing that's funny because you said just how you set your jokes up. You said it's like I've been getting people to tune into, you said, my channel, because you said, like, as I'm scrolling down my Facebook while we sitting on break at work, I happen to go past one of your reels or something like that, and you said people are still, you said, talking, you said, because I showed them that reel about the, you said, what was it? It was the masculine energy. And you said, and even women are like, he damn sure right. So, yeah. So I'm just let you know. You said, like, you got people out here. You said championing you, but you said you forward, brother. You said just like it.
Yeah, I'm a man's rights. I'm a man's rights activist. I'm trying to get us some love again.
Hell yeah, you said, but you said your moniker is the Fresh Prince of Welfare. Where did that come from? Because that's genius.
Because my life was kind of the opposite of Will Smith's. Like, I grew up privileged with a lot of you know, just people had some money, and then when I got older, I moved back to the hood up here in Cleveland. You know, so my life is like if Carlton would have moved to West Philadelphia. That's my life.
So you said, like, most Negroes want to get out of the hood. You said, nah, fuck it, let's go in there.
Yeah, you know, and that's weird though. That's like I guess I kind of had what you call hood envy. You know, because I've always looked and spoken like this, so my blackness has always been in question, and I always wanted to prove myself and be down. So I'm like, man, I'm going to the Mecca. I'm going to where the niggas at.
There's nothing wrong with that, because you should just, like, if you look at, okay, let's take movies for example. You should just, like, throughout the Creed movies, for him to get ready for that big fight, he had to go into the jungle. You said to bring it. So I get that sentiment, and it's actually, you saying, because like, you're not going to get it in the suburbs. You're not going to. You said you have to get down there. You said in the dirt. You said to be able to get it. So you said that's very commendable. You said because it shows. You said you have it. You said a love for your craft that you want to get, that you want to actually be able to feel this, like, just like to say if you were an actor, you want to go to an area using that is mimicking the character that you're trying to portray. So, like, that's what's up. You said, so, like,
yeah, but it translated to the craft. It was really more personal. It was really more about, you know, like, just trying to be part of my people. You know, and it's like, hey, I sound different, but no, I'm still, you know, I'm just as cultured. I'm just as in about the culture, about us, you know, as anybody else.
Right. I'm just thinking about something else real quick. It's just I had a comedian Tank with a C on not too long ago.
That's my dog.
It was funny because when he started the interview, he did it without his glasses. And because I had this whole little, joke plan, because both of us are light skinned, we wear glasses. But you said now it really translates, because both of us are light skinned, we wear glasses, and hey, both of our names is Tyrone. We look like two niggas about to play a game of Scrabble for no reason.
Hey, for real. Like one of my cousins.
You were saying, like, I'm about to use expeditiously on the board for no reason at all. Use it.
Right.
Okay, it's
funny.
Like, another thing that I wanted to definitely ask you: where's somewhere that you played that you said, like, that right now is your favorite place to go because you said you feel the most at home, and where's some place that you feel like there might be a little more difficult, but you're up for the challenge?
Oh, perfect. B-side is my favorite place to go. That's like home, and it's a dope room because, you know, you get like a white crowd, a black crowd, and a hood crowd. You know, you get like it's a good place to get a good read on your jokes. You know, like all the cultures are represented. And the one I want to go and conquer is Skeets.
Okay.
Skeets is my home neighborhood. I haven't done comedy there, but I know the crowd. You know, you got to get them quick. It's almost a Def Jam, almost Apollo crowd. You know, you got to get them early. You know.
Right. Well, that's dope. You said like you've been rocking with Lex Vegas for a while, and once again we got to shout out the good brother Lex Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Every Thursday night on Red Line Radio LLC.
AKA.
You see, so like everybody that knows Lex is a pain in the ass. You said you love him. You said, but you said it's like he's not a pain in the ass. It's just he's attention to detail. It needs to go bam, 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 bam. Or you about to catch you about to catch some. You don't see that many people being that way. You saying nowadays they're half-assing it and stuff like that. So when you deal with somebody that's about their business, that's you said A to Z all the way, no detouring and cutting corners. What's the difference in working with somebody like a Lex Vegas and somebody that's all over the place?
Oh man, you know, it's just and shout out Lex, man. Look, he is a pain in the ass, but I will give him I like his consistency. He's the same pain in the ass to everybody. You know, I appreciate that. Like he follows through. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. The main thing is I always say this, the professional is a dying profession. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker that just wants to show up and be good at their job and maximum effort. Like, so somebody like Lex, and Lex is he's probably been promoting as long as I've been doing stand-up, like less than 2 years, but goddamn professional. It was a time in my career where I made the most money ever with him, you know, but just professional. And I don't know if he came out of his pocket. I don't know if it was off ticket sales, but he took care of it. He kept his word. His yes was yes, his no was no. He showed up on time. Like, people don't appreciate that. Like, besides, it's funny motherfuckers that's going down the Earl Manigault route. It's like, nigga, you were supposed to be great, but you had to be yourself. You couldn't be like, this job is customer service. Fuck right. What you're going through, you know?
Right. You see, what's funny about that, because like you said, you know the current Lex Vegas show intro, right?
Yeah.
The intro before every intro that Lex Vegas has had for his show, I did that.
Okay.
And you said if you like the finished product, you have to understand this was probably 2 weeks worth of re-edits that I had using me and him going back and forth. And it don't bother me because I actually enjoy doing that. But just know it was not a cakewalk. So you said when you said that he's that level of asshole to everybody, you're not lying, bro.
Yeah.
You said
it's a quality control issue.
Yeah. You said, like I said, the dick back skits, I did those. You said, I mean, so like I said, it's just, and that's why I don't mind, because you said like I'll deal with certain people and they'll be like, I'm like, well, what do you want? And they'll go, well, I want this, and this, and I start sending them the same. I'm doing them like I do Lex, and I send them. You send the re-edit, so you change this, change that. They're like, well, I don't want to take too much of your time, dude. This is your product. You said you asked me. Either you want it done your way, or I'm just gonna throw any old shit out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your product. You said you're paying me to do something, so I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you what you want. So with that being said, you said just like, when you deal with somebody like a Lex Vegas, once again, you said, and knowing that his yes is yes and his no is no, and he's strictly using the way he is, do you feel, you saying like more pride in doing those events, whether as opposed to doing events with lazier people, I guess if you want to call it?
I wouldn't say pride. I feel more confident, more able to focus on what I'm there to do. You know, like we both got the same goal. Like, okay, agreed. We both trying to have a dope show tonight. Let's go. It ain't about nobody's ego or nothing. It's like it's the body of work. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you get with somebody like that, it's like, okay, cool. I just got to show up and be funny. I know you got this. I don't got to check behind you or, you know, whatever. Make sure other shit's together.
Right. You said, how I got introduced to you is you was doing the thing with Tacoma, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tacoma, yeah.
Tacoma, yeah.
Tacoma, shout out to Tacoma Maria.
I'm trying to have her on as a guest, please. You said, Lord, I apologize for all the little pygmies down there in New Guinea. Amen.
Yes, my bad. Here I go.
So,
my bad.
How did you get started? And you said on that podcast.
Okay, so I was at this other podcast place, We Up Radio. Shout out Goldie Montana.
My God.
And it was a time where I became the production manager there. So I I had my show, but I was producing maybe like 2 or 3 other shows. And a good friend of mine had brought her to me and told me she was interested in getting into the podcast world. And I vetted her. Like, she was good at talking, good communications, had original point of view, and didn't mind standing on it. So I'm like, boom. So I started off on her show being her co-host, and I was really filling in as the producer. I was like trying to find her a permanent co-host, and then I don't know, our chemistry was dope, so we just kept it going.
But it was like I sat in on a few of you guys' podcasts, and you saying yes, you guys, like no punches pulled. You saying, and you both had your point of view, and you saying the thing I liked is that you respected each other's point of view.
Yeah.
With that being said, it brings me to my next question, which is, we live in a world with, well, they think this way, so you should think this way, or they think that way, so you should think this way. How do you not get lost in the sauce and stand on your own too, instead of joining the crowd? Because I'm so tired of that word "they." You know what I'm saying? And most people don't even know what it means anymore. Because like, if you look at, let's say, politics. I don't really like to talk politics, but we'll use it just for this use and exercise. It'll sit there and say 60% of Black Americans, like you said, cherry Pepsi, and I'll sit there and I look at a poll like that, and I'll be like, didn't nobody ask me? So who the fuck is 60% of Americans? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you should separate yourself from that pack?
I don't know, man. I'm a nerd at heart, and I mean that. Like, I study, I research, I look up, verify. Everybody's talking about what their truth is, and I was like, no, it's just the truth. It's facts. Can't argue with a fact, But I think that's part of the propaganda machine too, just to destroy the truth. Like, nothing's matters, it's if nothing matters, then people will believe in anything.
And that's definitely true. It's like you brought up that you're a nerd, and you said, I like when people bring the word nerd to me, because I've been known as somewhat of a nerd or whatever in my day, and it's not classes because I fucking know a lot of shit. Just saying,
right?
But, me and Lee, we have a lot of conversations about the Mandela effect. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever heard of this? And what's your take on that?
Yeah, I've heard of it. And I don't know. I think I've had some stuff. Like, definitely, I've spit songs a certain way. I'm like, no, they didn't say that. Like, everybody, I thought this was like common knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I go back and like, oh, it never happened. I made it up in my head.
Right. Just like I know the one of the huge ones still is mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And of course, now you look at it now, it's a magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest? It was like, no, that is not what it was.
Right.
Or like Lucy, you got some explaining to do. You said, in our mind, dude, that's all we know. But you're telling me that was never said? It's like, so
I feel like the mirror, mirror on the wall is Slick Rick's fault. He just put that in our heads young, and it's stuck.
That's true. And then I know another one they're arguing about right now was the guy in Tenement Square back in the 80s where the tank rolled over the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen.
Really?
So it's crazy. Just like, like I said, we talking nerd stuff. So it's that kind of stuff, But it's
yeah. But how does but I'm saying, like, it maybe, how do all these people have the same shared memory that never happened? You know, so like a glitch in the Matrix type shit.
Exactly. You said, now getting back to comedy, you said like I've asked this question of all the comedians, and I pulled it from Key Silly, and you said shout out to the good folks Key Silly.
Shout out Key Silly.
And
we go.
Because last time I saw her, it was right after the first time back on stage, right after her grandmother had passed. So I'd asked her, how do you hone in and get back to what the job you come to do, dealing with adversity? So I'm gonna ask you, like, if you ever had, like, let's say you found out your girl cheated on you or something like that, or you said one of your homies from back in the day you got to a car accident or whatever, God forbid, how do you block that off and still go out there and give the people a good show? How are you? Because I know know your regular preparation, but how do you get on stage through adversity?
Like I say, it's the job, man. Like this job is customer service. So it's like the customers don't give a fuck about, what you're going through in your life. And you might be depressed or whatever, you broke up or your dog got shot.
Mhm.
You're here to do a job. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The crowd is here, the mic is on, and they want a show. So you go out there and you give it to them.
Right. And
And you deal with your shit after. You got to keep yourself together. Like comedy, you know what I'm saying? We're practicing dealing with humiliation daily. You know what I mean? You're going up there to perform, and it might go well, it might not, but you're putting yourself out there. So your mental health is important to be able to do that, consistently and not take a drain. I mean, it's going to be a drain, definitely, but it's got to be a balance. You don't want to end up like Robin Williams. You're like, dang, this dude brought so much joy to people. How could he be so sad? Like how could he get to that point? But it's a balance. You got to keep yourself together.
okay, usually so like do you like I know you that's how you say you do it, but is it hard to do? Because you said like, or does it feel like you're just I'm just gonna go ahead and spit these lines? Like, yes, I know the material's funny, but do you say does like to you personally does it feel forced, or do you say does like or are you able to you say really hone it in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you got to go in there and perform. You stay in the same pocket. You play the same game. You still going out there to win, to destroy, to dominate, whatever you're there to do. You keep that going. And like just for this hour, I'm here. I'm in the moment. I'm focused, and then everything else is everything else when I get done.
Right. Okay. Well, you said well like when you just mentioned an hour, so you got a lot of these comedians that are doing hour-long specials. They're getting hour-long special after hour-long special after hour-long special. Do you think that's hurting the up and coming comedians? You said because if all these big names are the only ones that are getting you send the hour long specials on your Netflix, on your Primes, on your Hulus, and things, do you think that's a detriment to you send local talent that's coming up?
I would say no, no, actually, man. Like, as far as for a comedian like myself, like somebody who likes to study, this is awesome. You have such a vast body of work to look at on Netflix. If you want to just study comedy, you can go there and all day and find out what's going on. And I think Netflix has given a lot of opportunity, a lot of lesser known comics who've been great for like 10, 15, 20, 30 years are getting specials. Finally getting their show. Like Earthquake. Earthquake just got a Netflix special. He's been dope since like the 90s. So it's good to see him getting a platform to get his shine on.
Absolutely. You said it's like coming back to Key Silly, you said that wind's been kicking back up, and I'm trying to make sure no more trees fall down, brother. But so when I talked to Key Silly said she does not like watching other comedians, and I got her perspective because it was like you don't want to unintentionally you saying take a word or take a half a sentence, or you said it just so. How are you able to watch other comedians and not subconsciously you saying use it? I guess use something like I guess maybe a tone of phrase in your set.
I don't know. Cause I'm watching comedy now as a student. Like it's not just off of what I enjoy. Like the shit that you enjoy is gonna stick with you. Like I'm gonna tell my nigga this joke tomorrow at the job, But yeah, I'm just really studying like technique, and like I think certain formats it's okay to adopt. Like George Carlin was really good at making lists. So I have a joke where I list all the different type of hoes there are. You know what I mean? But it's more of an homage. I didn't steal. I definitely stole the idea, the technique, but it's my original joke.
Right.
So yeah, and I think it's okay for that some stuff. Like I think in some cases it's okay to take premises if you have your own punchline. Like if you had your own why did the chicken cross the road joke, but you had your own punchline at the end, like that's your joke.
Right. Well, when you got other comedians like a Cat Williams who said he doesn't, I guess, take shot, if you will. Would taking class, I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, taking class.
How do you think it's a detriment? Because a lot of people, myself included, you notice I didn't say they. A lot of people I'm just going off what I've seen down my use of social media. Didn't think his last special landed all that well. Now I'm a fan of Cat Williams. Don't get it twisted. Me personally, I don't think he's been funny I had a full complete special since I think it was the one where he came out to Rick Ross Hustler and did
Oh
the.
yeah. We know he had the other one on Netflix, the Great America. He was a little fatter. He had the gold suit on.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. But his last special was I think he was trying to transition into that OG mode, like where Dave Chappelle is. And if you remember when Dave Chappelle first came back, his first 2 or 3 specials wasn't all that. It took him 6 specials to get to where he was at the closer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Cat knows what he's doing, and I think after you get to a certain level, you maybe don't have to take class. You evolve. You're different now.
Right.
Like Jay-Z started off with notebooks, but he got to a point where he just kept everything in his head. It's like you don't just show up like that. You evolve. So
Right.
yeah, certain cats like that, maybe you don't have to take class after you get to a certain level.
And that kind of ties me into because one of the things I champion on my platform is different perspectives, different opinions. And people, if they beat me up about my opinion all the time, bring it. It's like I've been talking with everybody. That Rihanna halftime performance. Love Rihanna. The hits were hitting. Don't get it twisted. But your artistic interpretation of sperm going to an egg to show us that you were pregnant when we noticed that you were pregnant when the lights came on didn't hit that well for me. I felt like I was in health class listening to Rihanna music.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, she's a billionaire. And she did. Art is subjective. You're allowed to have your own opinion. It's like, and I feel like opinions are being dismantled and swept under the rug. And you better have this opinion. You better think that way. You better do this. Whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so how do we as a people get back to everybody can have their own opinion, and that's just that?
Yeah, I don't know, man, because all these little groups, everybody is talking about they want equality, but they really want privilege. It's like, hey, I'm being brave. Just compliments, no criticisms, please. And it's to the point where they soften the world up for them. And as a Black person who still hasn't got equal rights, by the way, the world has never softened up for us. It was like, nigga, sink or swim. What you gonna do? And like, that's equality for me. I want everybody to get the same. Like, I think all the words should be allowed to be said, like all of them. And you deal with the consequences of saying what you said. Stand on it. But when you make everybody have to shut up and only say certain things, it's hard to tell who the stupid people are.
Right.
Let the stupid people identify themselves to us.
Exactly. You're saying that the ignorance, that's why it's called the ignorance.
Ignorant.
It's like, okay, like, but with that being said, because like using the Republican Party, and one of the things they do is everything that we're trying to champion or trying to be like, yo, we've been asking for this for years. You've seen, like, just like you said, equality. They have literally stolen a phrase that we used to keep us as Black people in remembrance of where we came from. Now they're like, we used to say, stay woke, brother. You say, now they're using the word woke as, well, it's something we don't like, so we're just gonna call it woke. My problem is, okay, now you're taking a phrase and bastardizing it, and you're saying, oh, they're woke because they want to know about their Black history. So you're okay being asleep at the wheel. So like, how does that land towards you with what I just said?
I mean, I don't know. They always do that. I remember when the Republicans were mad about having to wear masks in certain places. They was like, well, George Floyd couldn't breathe, so now I feel like I can't breathe either. Or they're always quick to throw up MLK. Like, this is not Martin Luther King's dream. We want equality. Like, they always, when it fits them, they always good to say shit like that. But we all know what it is. This is all the same tactics.
I'm definitely clipping that part because I was this close to spitting out my soda, dude.
And look, that's a real news clip. You can look at that when we get done. A white lady said that for real.
Wow, that is insane.
But they're quick to do that when it suits them. I'm taking a stand like Rosa Parks did. Shut up.
What? It's like, And I always find that funny how people will sit there and literally use it, take our trauma, use it, and then try to turn it around to fit their narrative. Use it because like I forgot the author. Use it, but the book is called Post Traumatic Slave Theory or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, it also talks about using post traumatic slave owner syndrome. And I think that you said, expounding on something you said a minute ago about, you said them all compliments. You said, oh, you said we're trying to get rid of that. So you said it makes us look good, makes us used to feel good and everything like that. So you said, like, do you think that it could possibly, they could be suffering from a post-traumatic slave master syndrome because they still have the privilege and they think when they're being called on it, they think they're being attacked?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like I think one of the side effects of white privilege is individualism. You know, like white people get to be individuals, and I don't think they see that a lot of their specials because they're white. They think it's them. Like I'm me. You know, and like you even see it like with crime. Like there's no one white person that can make all white people look bad. You know, like if a 15-year-old white kid shoots up a school, it's nobody's fault but his. You know, like not even the parents' fault. You know, sometimes they come out bad. You know, whatever. But if a 15-year-old black kid I don't know shoots another 15-year-old black kid that I don't know, it goes on my record. Like your people kill each other all the time. Like I don't know them niggas.
Right.
Why does that affect me? You know, but white people get to be individual, and I think because of that, they get to miss the privilege. It's like, no, I'm me. I'm special because I'm me, not because I'm white. Because I'm Cooper or whatever.
It's like one thing I always say to people there was like, well, why are you complaining about the cop shooting unarmed black people? He should have just complied. And how come y'all don't have that same energy for Chicago? Because y'all niggas don't do shit about that either. So shut up.
Yeah, and in Chicago, both niggas are dying. One nigga's dying, one nigga's going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's consequences on both ends. With the cops, it's not too much.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know if you've seen what's been circulating in the news here lately. I guess a correctional officer in it. I think it was in Atlanta. She's on video sucking the finger of an inmate, and then she's all butthurt because she got fired and stuff like that. And then of course they're also doing an investigation. Well, how did the prisoner get the phone in the first place? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and then of course you said the whole the Tennessee cop that you said that was getting gangbanged by half the department. You said now she's trying to sue the department because she said they groomed her.
No, she's just embarrassed.
And like the person that should be embarrassed is her husband.
He don't care.
Well, and his father's a pastor. He should care.
Man, that's what I'm saying, man. Weak men definitely mess it up for the rest of us. You know what I mean? Like she's like, no, I deserve to be married, and she's like, he's standing by her. This is my wife. She's for the streets. Let her go with that gang of niggas that she loves so much.
You for the streets? I'm talking about the 4-lane highway with the grass median. That's.
Oh my God! With the Germans got the Autobahn. You for the Autobahn? You get your ass on the Autobahn, bitch.
I mean, for real. So it's like, when you start to write your material using and let's say you use the tragedy of a news story. You saying it's like because like. I've listened to your jokes, and your jokes are very intelligent. You said I'm definitely for that. You said it's like I guess you're probably going to equate it to you being a nerd and you studying and stuff like that. But I was going to say, how do you skip over the low-hanging fruit that other people would go to and be able to do your own thing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just find it funny. Like usually I want to make a good point and a good joke. You know, I try to have like a little message or something in there to teach. Also, but yeah, that's it. Usually it's trying to find the lesson. Like a lot of my jokes I'll write, I'll look at people I disagree with. Like I watch videos on Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro or, anybody that I really would disagree with. And usually my rebuttal to what I hear them saying, I can find a joke in it. Mm-hmm. Like if I was there with them, like this is what I would say back, but I could usually find a joke in there someplace.
Right. We said, well, to me with Candace Owens, the joke is because she's very she spews so much anti-black racism, it's insane. But
Yeah.
the funny thing is because when she was in college, she needed to get the NAACP to help her out because white students were harassing her, but now she spits anti-black racism. That
Oh
is
yeah. I think it's some niggas like that. Like Ben Shapiro. You hip to him? Like he's from Detroit. And I think at some point he was like, I'm not hanging around these niggas no more. Never again. I'm going to get me some white friends. Fuck these niggas.
right.
And I think some people get like that, you know?
Right. You said like because we got clowns on the right and we both also got clowns on the left. And you said like to me they're equally funny, but like I said, just like to me, because unless you do your research and you know the background of a Candace Owens, you would go for the low-hanging fruit. Like I was saying, if you were trying to make a joke about Candace Owens instead of bringing up, you said holding the mirror to her face.
Right.
So it's like, what would you like? Let's say if like you were trying to turn somebody on to like a Candace Owens, and you were trying to explain it to them. It's like, okay, you said take off your trigger jacket. You said and just listen. How would you explain to you so they can understand where you're coming from watching something like that?
Man, I would try to show some of her other points. Because like real talk, if I'm being honest, when Candace Owens is not talking about black people, I agree with a lot of stuff that she's saying. A lot of our values line up the same way, just old school black conservative. It's just her critique of us is just like, oh, baby, that's misguided. You got to get you a black friend. And I don't think you're around the culture enough to make these accusations.
Right. That's one thing that's that you say, like they'll find these certain talking heads or whatever to basically label our entire group. Use it as a monolith. We're all this way. We're all that way. It's like, what do you think the left should probably do better? Because to me, the left's biggest problem is phrasing, and I'm using it because to me, Black Lives Matter, the sentiment you said it was great, and we're not going to get into what the organization did because that's irrelevant to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sentiment in general. And you said now if they would have said Black Lives Matter too, it probably would have hit. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I just think no group cares about us at all. You know what I mean? Like it sounds good. You know, we're a cool cause to get behind. We make dope music, but nobody really gives a fuck about us. And like even see with that group you just said, with their sentiment, they didn't give a fuck about us. When people get to a certain point, it's about them. You know, like even Candace Owens, like I think she does it for the bag. I think like because if she wasn't saying the crazy shit about niggas that she was saying, nobody would care. She wouldn't be where she was at if she was just talking good sense and regular stuff. So I don't even think she's as invested as as she argues. But I think it keeps her relevant, keeps her famous, keeps her paid.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. You said it's like, well, you said let's switch gears. You said we'll get back into the funny. Okay.
The funny, yes.
Right now, who are your top 5 comedians right now?
Dead or alive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, first and foremost is my pastor, the Honorable Patrice O'Neal, at the top for me. George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, Richard Pryor.
Okay. You said that's an awesome list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once again, you said like we're also going with lists. But before I get to the list question, I did want to ask another question.
Sure.
Kevin Hart's supposed to be here in Ohio, I think May 18th, I think that's what it is. Something like that. But instead of performing at the arenas downtown in Cleveland, he's coming to the Football Hall of Fame in Canton. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, we know, if you've driven by that place is huge.
Yeah.
So like, to you as an entertainer, you said like, especially because the Football Hall of Fame is an outside venue. You said, so like, with everything that you've done, like, what would be the difference from you said like doing like a big stadium in the bigger city to like doing like a major, I guess, landmark in a smaller city? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't done anything that big yet, but
Well,
I think for me, I think after a certain number, it's just dope. Like a bigger audience is, I think for me, it's easier than a smaller audience.
mm,
Like I've done an audience of 3 people before, and it's tough. It's like, oh man, I hope they all get these jokes, you know?
it's like, so let's say right now that Kevin Hart's people contacted you right now and said, yeah, that show we're doing in Canton, we want you to open up. You said,
On there.
you said, like, are your nerves gonna be like, or are you just gonna be like, no, this is my moment. Let's go.
No. I mean, I'm gonna say, no. This is my moment, but the nerves are always there. Like I appreciate the nerves. It's like pre-game jitters. Like the nerves make me take it serious. Like this is important. Bring it. So yeah, but I don't think those nerves. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit more, but I don't think those nerves will be any different than any other nerves before I go on stage.
But these are like, we're gonna go back to the list question I was talking about. It's like, because everybody's still talking about that the 50 best rappers, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess Lil Wayne being out of the top 5. Me personally, I grew up in, this is where I grew up, ATL.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne's in my top 10. He's not in my top 5. You know what I'm saying? And
I can see that.
because I just turned 40, so I mean, Lil Wayne, me and Lil Wayne are around the same age, but it's like, I guess I like the more using a different style. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, Wayne didn't get good until Carter 3. You said, yeah, he had dope punchlines and everything, but he did not get good until
Oh, the Carter 3. I would say right before the Carter 1, when he started doing those squad up mixtapes.
Oh no, those were dope. But
Yeah.
to me, his subject matter and his substance changed once the Carter 3 came, because once he went to college and expounded his vocabulary a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
came up a better MC. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, and I get that.
And, like, I've been arguing with people online about to me, my number 1 right now is Andre 3000. Still,
Okay.
that's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he got a lot of tools in the bag. Very diversified rapper, man. Shucks, I hadn't even thought about my top 5, man. I think Jay's number 1 for me. It just seems undoubtedly. But I don't know who the rest will be. Probably X. X is in there for me, top 5. Who else? Jesus Christ. Eminem.
Okay.
Ludacris.
And he doesn't get enough. You saying
He don't be in the conversation enough, man. Ludacris is the Damon Wayans of rap. Y'all forgot about all the shit he done did.
Oh my God, that is.
Yeah.
You just said something there, brother. Because honestly, Damon Wayans to me is the funniest of that whole family.
Yeah, like I feel like Damon, if he would have kept with it on all he could have did what Kevin Hart's doing. He could have been like the next Eddie Murphy type dude. I don't know. He just kind of slid off though.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the tools to do it though.
Mm-hmm. We know that Marlon's trying to hold the mess. Marlon's reactionary funny to me.
Yeah.
Not much on stage.
I think I appreciate his courage because he's got the bag. He has nothing to prove besides this is what he wants to do. So I respect it. I think me and Marlon probably been doing stand up the same amount of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like, but like I said, I have so much respect for people that are willing to get up on that stage, because like I said, a lot of those people that are in that audience or that are watching on their TV or their phone or their tablet or whatever, they have so much criticism, you say a person's craft, or you saying, oh, this wasn't funny, or this didn't hit well, this didn't hit well. Now I sat here, you said a minute ago, sit there saying Cat Williams didn't have a complete, full, funny special to me since X, Y, and Z, or this, that, and the third. But I used to rap, so I've been the one to get up on that stage. You know what I'm saying? So like, maybe not in the same capacity, but I've done it. So it's like, and like you said, we talked about the Rihanna thing, and I sat there and they was like, "Oh, well, you're just hating on Rihanna." But I was like, "Whatever things about the Dr. Dre performance that I didn't like either." Me as a car guy, if I'd have been there at SoFi, I'd have came down the field and kicked every one of them assholes that was standing on the hood of them lowriders because I'm a car guy.
Right, right, right. Respect the vehicle. Respect it.
Use it. So you said like if you have a joke that's not hitting well, but you know that they're either drunk, they don't have the mental capacity to you said to understand your intellect. You said like, do you keep playing to that side of the room, or do you kind of focus on another side of the room and then maybe come back, or you just leave them alone altogether?
Yeah, no, usually in like drunk crowds, I got a couple of one-liners. I'll try to just do some short form jokes to see if I can get them to pay attention to even want to listen to some long form jokes. And then if they're being really unruly, I'll just do all dick jokes. Like, fuck it. If I'm gonna be uncomfortable, everybody's gonna be uncomfortable. Let's just rock this time out together.
Okay, this is like. Is it like are you old school like you said with the when you write you got the notebook or you doing everything in your phone like the new generation?
Oh man, look, I am old school. I write everything down.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
Yeah, like, that's just me. I have to write it for me to remember it. You know, if I got shit out in text before and forgot about, but if I write it, it registers in my head.
Right. Well, you said like do you like ever get any negative feedback for like the reels that you put up on you said on your social media?
Oh, absolutely. And I was gonna say to your point about low hanging fruit. I talk about a lot of controversial topics, so I gotta research it and figure out how to thread the needle and get away with it. Because I talk about trans, you know, you can get in trouble as soon as you say something trans. You know, I talk about gay, white people, women, heavy material on women and criticizing them, you know, and you can't talk about women, but you can, you know, if you do it tactfully.
Right.
So, yeah, but I try to, yeah, just find a way to get my point across.
It would expound on that because it was funny because I don't know if you remembered I had told you a joke, but it was actually part of my real life. You said when we saw each other at the Lex show, and I was just like, the kids coming home from school, just saying that, well, guess what? Everybody at the school's bisexual. I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't grow up with you niggas because if I had to suck a dick to be cool, you could count me out.
Right, right. That's the standard now, golly.
It's like, yo.
Yeah, but I'm just.
We had dope boys, we had jocks, we had the nerds. Not you said y'all niggas just jumping off the deep end now.
Yeah, but we always had what was cool, but it was, you know, everybody was allowed to be themselves, and it wasn't no, you know, like we should be allowed to not like shit. Like, hey, I just don't like it. Like, I'm not any ist or any phobic or anything. I don't like it. It's just my thing, you know. But as soon as you say you don't like something, it's almost like they treat it like it's bullying. Like if I tell you, like today, if I be like, hey Ty, I don't like your hat. Like, oh, that's bullying. You're hat shaming. Like, no, I just don't like his hat. You know, like.
Right. It's like people come for me all the time because I'll do shit like that. They were like, well, such and such. You saying like Trick Daddy says he's part of the Eat a Booty gang. Oh, nigga, that nigga gay. That nigga quit kink shaming that nigga. Let that nigga live his life.
Right. Right.
Personally, I am not a part of the Eat a Booty gang, but hey, who am I to judge? Hey, do you?
Right, right. But look, when we was growing up, man, like it wasn't cool for niggas to eat pussy. But we all knew cats who did it, and it was like, all right, you nasty, but that's my nigga, whatever.
Right. You then just make sure that girl was clean, because I'm still a little skeptical about passing you the blunt. We don't know.
Right. You play it like that.
You said your ass be out there in East Cleveland, so we don't know.
Right. Eating that pothole pussy.
Or you could be one of those people that like to go to Vegas and you out there eating prostitute pussy. It's like, whoa.
Oh man, that's the worst kind to eat.
Yeah, man. It's all bad.
That's free range pussy.
Grass fed.
Right.
So it's like what like as a comedian, you said you could be an opener, you in the middle or close. Where you feel most comfortable setting up hosting, opening, middle, or closing?
I mean, hosting is the easiest. because you don't have to be the funniest guy in the room. You know what I mean? And you really just pop up. If somebody brings the show down, you pop in there, tell a joke, get the energy back up, kick it to the next person. Or if the person just killed it, you just pop up. All right, let's keep it pushing. Get sending it on to the next person. So that's the easiest. But I think closing, I prefer closing just for like the time, and I get time to really get loose and get into my material. I don't got to speed through it. But yeah, but I'll go any place. I love when I go places and they'll put me up first. I'm like, are you sure? Because these niggas gonna have to earn it tonight. Because I am not. Ain't no opener set. It's the set is the set. The same heat every time.
Right. So okay, which brings me to my next question. It was like, because we're still in a time where people are, you seem like they're so stupid. You saying just it is what it is. Okay, I don't know. There was a YouTuber by the name of Queen Naja, and she came out with a song, and it actually did a huge number. I think it's like 25 million views in one day. And now on tour and using big things and everything like that. But people are discrediting her. Oh, well, you're just a YouTube singer. Or you said like a DC Young Fly. Oh, well, you're just an internet comedian, or a country Wayne, you're an internet comedian. Or T.I., well, dude, you're a rapper. You can't get into comedy. It's like, where do you sit when people start having that? To me, it's a stupid conversation, but where do you sit when it comes to a conversation of that magnitude?
Man, the same thing about being professional. If you are talented, motivated, and professional, I'm rocking with you. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Level 1 or level 1,000, wherever you at. Like, come on. You on the same shit I'm on. And like you see DC. DC's taking the steps to even master it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to the stage and learning how to be an actual comic. He doesn't need to, but he's just being a purist, a master of his craft. I respect the fuck out of that. And I kind of think T.I.'s doing the same thing. I haven't been keeping up with his comedy career as much, but I saw him on that show Roast Me. You ever see that where the guys be in the classroom?
Yeah.
And he went there and look, he did not do good, but he went there and took his roast like a champ. Like I respect that. You don't got to do that. You T.I. But if you're gonna be a comedian, you got to go and be able to take them shots like you're giving them.
Right. I mean, absolutely. So like, would you be able to? You said like step in that arena.
Roasting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, I've done some roast, man, and in the hoodest of spots, niggas be looking at me like, "Hey man, Urkel got hurt." Like, man, fuck you, I'm a whole comedian, nigga. Like, but yeah, but I mean, it's just really about. I want to master all it's kung fu. I want to master all the styles, nigga. I want the tiger, the crane, the bear, all that. So if roasting's a part of it, I need to master it too.
Right. It's like when you're getting in there, it's like when let's say you're doing a roast. Do you freestyle it or do you write it?
Freestyle. I mean, I'm probably gonna be sizing up my opponent before the match. Just seeing like, all right, what he got on. What's his hairline looking like? What's his size like? And, just see what I could piece together. And then, you just fire in the moment. But shit, the roast I did was, we had, me and this one dude, it was 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. 10 minutes is a long time to talk about one person. You know what I mean? Like by the end there, I'm like, nigga, that's why you don't even exfoliate, nigga. I'm just trying to pulling whatever I can out the bag, trying to keep it going.
It's like, I'm gonna get to the last question before we get out of here because we're almost at an hour already. My guy, you seems like went.
Yeah. It was a great show. Hey, look, shout out to you, Ty. Before we go, man, I was gonna say, man, you are sneaky awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like you just come off super cool and unassuming. Like, oh yeah, that nigga's a rocket scientist. Like what? Nigga, this whole time, like.
Well, I appreciate it. I try to do my thing and I try to make sure that I show respect to everybody. And I don't try to put you in a precarious situation that may have you saying later on down the line maybe looking stupid because I said this answer or something that you can't stand. I want you to be you. I want you to get your opinion off. And I don't want you something that you said or something that I said to be contradicted later on. So like that's the reason why I do not write my questions down. I conduct myself in a freestyle platform so we can just have a regular conversation. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
So I definitely have to give you your flowers for you running through this journey with me, my brother. Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying? But
yes, sir.
Everybody's talking about this whole Chris Rock thing. Have you watched it? I have not. Of course, I've seen the little clips and everything.
Yes.
I think the clips, you know what I'm saying, well, they were pretty all right. You know what I'm saying? But to me, once again, Chris
Yeah.
Rock is a comedian who's not funny to me. But that's just me.
Oh,
So
Chris Rock. Yeah, Chris Rock is funny. He's just older now, but his old school, bigger, blacker. You know what I'm saying? Bring the pain. Chris Rock. He was hilarious. But yeah, I liked what he did. You know, and I wish he would have did more. I think he maybe did 3 minutes on the whole situation. You know, but yeah, I liked it, and he's catching all this flack, which I think is some bullshit. And, like he's disrespecting black women. I'm like, man, if Will Smith slapped me on stage, I'm talking about him, Jada, Uncle Phil, and Aunt Viv. Everybody's getting it, nigga. I'm talking about everybody.
right. Well, you said tying into that what you said before we get up out of here. It's like they're on Samoa's ass for I guess misgendering Zaya Wade. I don't think that's right either. So where does that sit with you?
Same thing, man. Like freedom of speech is freedom of speech. You should be able to say whatever. You know, I don't think it was being malicious, but once you decide to be in the public eye, your ass is up for grabs. Anybody could talk about you, man. Saturday Night Live, comedians in living color, you know, just this is what comedy is. You know, I can see you, so I'm gonna talk about you. That's it.
Right. Okay. I just thought of another question, so this was going to be the last question. It was like,
Come on.
do you think In Living Color could survive in this climate?
Oh man, I feel like they would water it down so bad. They wouldn't let it be what it was, I don't think. Yeah, nah, a lot of the old stuff from the 90s cannot survive now. And it should be able to.
Because, like I said, we as people should be able to do exactly what I do here on this platform: come together, have the conversation. You said because everybody's listening to respond instead of listening to understand. And I think that's that's what the detriment of everybody using as a unit using these days. You know what I mean? So you said make sure that you give everybody your socials, how they can get in contact with you, and what maybe upcoming events you have.
Okay, yeah. So Facebook, I'm Tyrone Gaines. It's right there at the bottom of the screen right there. And on Instagram, I am Tyrone the Comic. Hit me up. I got funny ass clips and a list of all the shows I'm going to. I think the next show I'm at is in Ravenna on April 1st. It's the Ravenna show. I'm going to post it on my page. So go to the pages I told y'all to go to, and you're going to see the post posted to go to the show.
Yeah. Well, listen, without further ado, thank you, my brother, for being here. You've been an awesome guest.
Thank you, Doug. Thanks for having me, man.
Anytime we're gonna have to do this again, brother. You said like I probably have to get all of my comedian friends and get together just so we could just have a TED talk to where we can throw jokes out. We can sit there and I mean that's something I want to put together going down in the future. You know what I mean?
I'm down, man. I like it.
You know saying? Well, without further ado, this has been my man, comedian Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay safe. God bless and hold it in the road. Peace.
Peace.
This is really gross, but dirty trash cans can pose a serious health risk to you and your family. The pungent smell can attract rats and flies, not to mention maggots, both of which can contain dangerous diseases transferable to humans. Your dirty trash can is susceptible to harboring dangerous bacteria. Contact Brandon at Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning today at 440-752-1533 or find them on Facebook. Veteran owned and operated and eco-friendly. Again, call Brandon at 440-752-1533.